Hey, how's it going, you guys? Welcome back to some more ChronoClock. We got quite the introduction in that first hour. There was a lot that happened. We saved a girl from falling off of a building, quite literally. And then we've been trying to get with girls by rewinding time by 5 minutes. So, what could go wrong? Am I right? What could go wrong? Anyways, we're just going to continue on from where we left off. Every so often, the day for me would begin with a soft, slightly cool sensation accompanied by a pleasant aroma. It would usually happen about once a week, and on days that it would happen, I would end up waking before the alarm on my phone sounded. This again? My brain felt like pudding as I roused from my slumber, but it was still immediately apparent to me that today was one of those days. Preparing myself for the inevitable, I then opened my eyes. Game, what is this? I just started the video. I can't get a break. Well, hello there. Okay, hello. Who are you? Before me lay a girl who had more of a traditional air of beauty to her than any other I knew. Her cleavage was slightly exposed, and she had evidently been watching me sleep. Any man who wakes up with a beautiful girl in his bed is no doubt blessed in life. Absolutely. Absolutely. Or rather, he would be if the girl weren't actually his sister. No. No. This is gonna be one of those games. I'm gonna play a sister route. No. And I think the sister really attractive. Why? Good morning, Michiru.
おはようございます、兄様。起こしてしまいましたか?
Guys, why? Why did they have to make the sister so attractive? Why? This isn't fair. Yeah, but it's no big deal. It's already morning now.
そうですか。兄様を疑うようで申し訳ありませんが、私に気を使って朝だという嘘をついていませんか?
Guys, what is this? What is this? I don't understand. This game's pretty great, though. I'm liking this game. The bright sunlight streaming in through the windows had already given me the impression that it would be another hot day. But there was no way for my little sister to know that. Yeah, it's looking like a very hot day here, guys. Very hot. Michiru's eyes were blank and empty because she happens to be blind. She's blind? Don't worry, it really is morning. This isn't gonna go well. A blind sister who's this hot. Smiled at her as I checked the time on my phone. I'm gonna get up in like 10 minutes.
10分。
There's no way he's getting up in 10 minutes. He's gonna get up
あ
in
と
like...
わずかで、兄様の吐息とぬくもりを感じられる幸せが終わってしまうのは、まるでシンデレラが魔法の解ける瞬間を残念に思うようなものですね。
Oh no, the sister has the hots for him too. No, not one of these games. Wow, you're pretty poetic at this hour of the morning.
兄様、キスをしてもよろしいですか?
I know some of you are enjoying this. I know you are. You know, Michiru, you're not a kid anymore. You're getting a little too old to be crawling to bed with me. Plus, you shouldn't be asking things like that of your sibling either.
みちるはまだ子供ですし、これでもかなり譲歩したお願いですのに。
Might I remind you, okay? You look like this. You look like that, okay? You are no longer a child. Now, I'm not saying you're of age. I'm just saying you no longer look like a child. Self-proclaimed child certainly wasn't one any longer, especially considering her physical maturation. But when she didn't get her way, she could certainly still pout like one. In spite of her reserved outward appearance, I think my younger sister is at the absolute cutest when she gets like this. Oh my gosh, she has a sibling complex. What is this? This reminds me, there was something I wanted to ask you.
何をですか?
If you had just one chance to turn back time and relive your life from any point in the past, how far back would you turn the hands of time?
何かの謎々ですか?
Nope, just a survey.
やり直したい過去などというものは特にありませんが。
You're the first person to give me a direct answer like that.
兄様と双子の兄弟として生まれたかったかもしれませんね。
Everything makes sense now. I know exactly why you guys wanted me to play this game. I just complimented it. I said the opening was pretty good. There's a lot going on. And then this happens. This is why you guys wanted me to play 9-9. And this is why you guys wanted me to play ChronoClock. It all makes sense now. It all makes sense. This is just Sora 2.0. I don't mean relive your life that way. Wouldn't you want to go back and do something to avoid getting that sickness which trained you blind or something like that? Okay, good. I'm glad they covered that because I was about to ask why she's blind. Like, I mean, I didn't know if she was born with it or something happened. You know, there's different reasons.
全く思いません。
Even if you're used to it by now, you can't deny that it's inconvenient.
そうですが、目が見えなくなったからこそ、見えるようになったものも多いですから。
I will say, though, if they're going to do a brother-sister route, this is also a little bit different. I will say they handled it in 9-9 pretty well, right? But I will say that this is a little bit different too, because she's blind, and like maybe her brother is the only way she kind of sees life, right? Like her brother is her closest person that she has to help her through life, right? So I could see there being something there. I'll give you guys that. Then Mitro reached out to my face.
兄様、本当に目が覚めたようですので、失礼いたします。
Closed my eyes and let her touch my face. Michiru's supple fingers diligently traced over the outline of my cheeks, my forehead, my eyebrows, my eyes, and my lips in orderly fashion. Given her blindness, this is the closest thing to sight of which she is capable. Her fingers moved from my face down to my neck, pausing briefly at the jugular, then continued down to my shoulders, my arms, and eventually my fingers. As below my waist, well, I had already scolded her for trying that in the past. Of course, the sister's blind and perverted. Of course. Once she had finished, her fingers reluctantly moved away, so I opened my eyes.
今日も兄様はご健康のようで何よりです。
Michiru was able to diagnose me better than a doctor like this. Her fingers can read me like Braille, and she can even pick up on my smaller details, such as the texture of my skin and body temperature. Wow, okay. That's actually really cool. In any case, do you really enjoy listening to me sleep that much?
この上なく幸せです。できれば男女のちぎり、兄様のたくましいものでお慈悲をいただければと無双しておりますが、このぬくもりと匂いを糧に横と自分を慰めて我慢いたします。
Yeah, okay. That's what I was gonna do too. Alright, time to get up.
兄様、お口だけでも5分で済ませてみせます。
Bro, what is this game? I might still be a virgin, but I spent a lot of time practicing in my room. There's no way I could finish in just 5 minutes, right? Can we just be done with this entire conversation? Like, can we just move on? Like, we know Sister's not best girl, okay? We already know that Crow is best girl. I mean, it's just so obvious. Like, immediately as soon as I saw her, I'm like, yeah, best girl. Felt like I was never going to get up at this rate, so I took Michiru by the hand and pulled her out of bed with me. Gosh, why does her outfit look okay here, but then when she was laying down, it looked completely different? Like, can we talk about that? It looked completely different. She was, like, all just kind of showing stuff and, you know, whatever, and now it looks fine. Yeah, go get dressed.
愛が足りません。
And what is that in her hair? They have, like, lots of very unique accessories. It's like a orb or something. Reluctant sigh, she did as I said and left my room. I'm the only one who ought to be sighing here. That Mio girl from yesterday was straightforwardly adorable, but my sister walked a very fine line between adorable and alarming. Yeah, she was giving me some very big Alabama vibes, as do most of these games, because you guys always recommend ones where they have Alabama vibes. Wonder how on earth she became someone who can teeter on crossing that kind of dangerous line as if it were nothing. Though, I actually already know why. At a young age, she was struck with a severe fever that left her bereft of her sight, and very nearly her life as well. I did everything in my power to care for her back then. Even after she'd recovered, I continued to spend a great deal of time with her, helping her adjust to life without sight. And look where that's gotten me. So it kind of happened the way I thought it was. Like, he was just there for her all the time. Kind of became, in a way, her eyes, right? Helping her to, like, enjoy life and see the world. And it's, like, only natural you'd maybe have some feelings for a person like that. They would be very close to you, at least. So, I can see that. You may think it may be a heartwarming story, but the caveat that Michiru's actually fallen in love with me as a result just makes it all feel like a bad joke at my expense. Well, whatever. I should get dressed too. Yeah, let's just forget about that. Sisterly love? Nah. We'll just go ahead and get dressed for the day. Slipped out of my pajamas and put on my school uniform. The summer uniform felt soft and comfortable. I then checked to make sure I had my phone, wallet, and the pocket watch with me. Very important that we have that. Because, you know, apparently people just fall off the roof of our school all the time. I glanced around in my room, making sure I wasn't forgetting anything. This is a very nice house. I do like the kind of traditional Japanese style. Would I want to live there? No, but I like to look at it. It's pretty. In order to experience a taste of ordinary life, I live on my own in a separate part of my family's estate. Oh, that's nice. So he kind of has his own space. I like that. Naturally, room and board is on them, but my laundry, cleaning up after myself, and any other issues of maintenance are all my own responsibilities. I think that's fair. I mean, you're getting a free place to stay, and you have a separate area in your family's house. Like, that's really nice. In other words, don't houses usually have AC nowadays? Every summer and winter give me cause to complain about the weather, and today was no different. Yeah, I would imagine they're kind of built that way. I mean, I would still like AC. I like AC. But you could just use some fans or something. Crow appeared out of nowhere. Oh, thank goodness. Real best girl arrived. Yo, good morning. I know, she literally has like a clock built into her head right there. It's kind of cool. Wish you'd give me a normal greeting in the morning for once. Yeah. Oh, well... He's gonna say something like, you saw everything? Even the stuff late at night? Someone putting on airs like that, they're my guardian. Like they're my guardian angel, you certainly didn't help me out there. You could have woken me up when Michiru came in or something. Oh, so if we start showing feelings back, then maybe you'll lend a hand. Well, yeah, I guess you're right, sorry. All I could do was apologize meekly. Feeling a little guilty, I slipped on my sandals and went out into the garden. Alright, let's get away from our sister. Gonna avoid her at all costs. I mean, I'm gonna go down her route if that's what it takes, but... I don't know, is this... There's choices in this, right? I'm pretty sure. So this house really is massive. Yeah, look at this. Isn't this beautiful? Probably a koi pond over there. It's not as though I get along poorly with my family, but my parents are always working and I hardly ever see them at home because this estate is so big. The only one who really feels like family is Michiru. Michiru was raised as a Sawatari successor as well, but the aspiration was lost in tandem with her sight. While my family haven't mistreated her since then, they haven't exactly treated her with much priority either. Undoubtedly, the idea that I was her lone unconditional ally paired with the generosity I'd shown towards her when she'd become totally dependent on me by now. She really is an adorable little sister, though. Yeah, adorable. That's totally the word I would... I would totally use that word. Of course. Crow floated along behind me. Are you worried about me? Yeah, I think that could be considered worrying. It'll be fine, my life is too easy as is, so it won't hurt me to try helping someone else out. I feel like this is just the start of a bunch of things going wrong. Like, I don't know what kind of game is this gonna be. Is this just gonna be like a comedy slice of life, or is there gonna be like some mystery or something we have to fix? I don't know. Man, I wish there was a girl out there who would tie me up. My guy. Yeah, it's pretty fun. I'm not saying anything. Would I know? I don't know. What is a poppycock? What? That I don't ever want to read that again, Crow. Never say that again. My stomach is so empty, I feel like I can float in the air like you. Crow waved her hand apathetically, but I ignored her and started walking towards the main building. Gosh, guys, Crow is just best girl. Best girl. So let's see. We have the girl from our class. We have the other girl from the roof. Miyu, I think, right? I don't remember the other girl's name. I'm sorry. It's actually been like maybe a couple weeks since I played the first episode, so I'm kind of recording this a while after. So forgive me if I forget a few details. But then we have our sister. So we got 3 girls so far. I'm guessing there's going to be either 4 or 5. It seems like there's 4 or 5 is the magic number. We'll see. 1 hour later, as I waited outside the house after finishing breakfast, Michiru appeared wearing her own uniform and carrying her parasol.
兄様、今日もよろしくお願いします。
Oh, so she just comes to school with us. She goes to the same school, huh? Michiru held her hand out elegantly as if she were inviting me to dance. Owing to her blindness, we always hold hands when walking to school together. Though it's not like my sister isn't able to get around on her own since she uses the parasol like a cane. This is a privilege reserved just for her because she's family.
いっそこの妹と付き合ってしまえばと思わなくもない。
No, Crow, stop. No, we don't want to talk about that. You can say some scary things, you know that? She's just like, what the frick are you talking about? Since Michiru couldn't hear Crow's voice, she was naturally confused by my response. It's nothing, let's go.
今日も元気に。
Oh, yes. Totally full of energy, you know? Now then, we normally take the monorail to get to school. The city is notable for having a monorail line which serves as one of the main attractions, so we use it to get just about anywhere. It makes getting around the city a snap. Gosh, I wish I had, like, nice transportation. Freaking America. Matched Michiru's gate as we left the house, passing through the intersection on our way to the nearest boarding station. An unpleasant memory briefly surfaced. We went through the ticket gate and onto the boarding platform. I tried to avoid taking Michiru here when it gets crowded. We left home pretty early, so there weren't very many people.
ではご主人、我が輩はいつものようにモノレールで人の世の観察を楽しむゆえ、そちらも一日勉学に励むとよい。
Oh yeah, I wouldn't dream of doing anything that's not school related. You know, I'm just, your average overachiever student here. Crow was as excited as ever to tell me that while we waited on the platform. I couldn't respond to her in front of Michiru, so I just glared at her instead. She doesn't have to deal with responsibilities like school or work at all. Stupid neat ghost. She seems like she's probably some kind of goddess or something. I mean, I don't think she needs to worry about having a job or going to school. I think she's okay. As if she didn't give a toss how I felt. Interesting. Crow began floating along above the rails herself with no intent of waiting for the train to show up.
何か。
Michiru snapped her fingers.
兄様の気配で誰かが近くにいるような気がしたのですが、勘違いだったみたいです。
I mean, I guess because she lost one of her senses, is this going to be a case of, like, she gains a new one? So she gains, like, the sixth sense to kind of detect the crows there? Echolocation. Michiru made use of this technique to verify her surroundings. What are you, some kind of bat? But she could only shake her head upon confirming nothing was there. She must have clued into Crow's presence from her own movements. Her other senses haven't dulled in the slightest. Oh, that reminds me, would you happen to know a girl named Miyu Suzuki? Michiru happened to be a first year, just like that girl, so I figured changing the subject to ask about her couldn't hurt.
あら、兄様からミユさんの名前が出るとは意外ですね。
So you do know her?
クラスメイトで仲のいいお友達ですよ。
Of course you two know each other. You're conspiring. Oh, is she really? I figured she'd at least recognize the name, but it was surprising to hear that they were such close friends.
妹の数少ない交友関係くらいは把握してくださっていてもよろしいかと思います。
Would be the neat thing to do. Well, you know, Michiru, it's a little difficult to do that when you talk with me because you don't know, or you don't talk about anything but me. So I'm in the dark about what goes on at school for you.
私の世界は兄様の存在だけで従前に満たされておりますゆえ。
I'm sure. That's quite a leap from what you said 10 seconds ago.
ミユさんは可愛らしい子ですよね。
Let's change the subject.
見た目ではなく性格が。
So we have Miu and Michiru. Interesting. They're kind of similar, a little bit. Since I do not know her appearance. Michiru
そ
giggled.
れで兄様こそミユさんとはどういうご関係なんですか？何か私がミユさんとお話をしなければいけないご関係なんでしょうか？
Are you guys reading this? I'm getting some yandere vibes right now. Gotta watch out for her. She's got red eyes too. I feel like that's a yandere thing. You know, she's got the crazy eyes.
それで兄様こそミユさんとはどういうご関係なんですか？
Oh, can I?
何か私が。
Oh, interesting. Okay. Hey, cut it out. It's not what you're thinking at all. While we were bantering like that, the train arrived. Alright, we're going to school. There's just a bunch of objects passing us. We're not even moving. It's about a 10-minute ride, so we continue the conversation as we sit on the train. I don't know Miu very well at all. In fact, I only met her yesterday, so I couldn't really know what she's like. Obviously, she's incredibly oblivious to her surroundings. Like, she didn't even realize she was going to fall off the school building. So, you know, kind of an issue there. And even when we went up to save her, she almost did it again. So, she was just determined to fall off that building. Which, not a great start. That would not be a great start if one of the heroines just died. Leaned my weight against the handlebars as I
ちょ
spoke.
っとした事情とは。
I can't tell you. It's not that I don't want to, but I have a good reason why I
そ
can't.
れなら気にしないことにします。
Oh, you're willing to pass that, huh? My sister was quick to place her trust in my words.
ミユさんのことを話せとおっしゃいますが、具体的に何をお話しすればよいのでしょう。特徴的なことは父子家庭であること、お家が少々貧しいこと。これは事情ですね。他には勉強は非常に得意なことくらいですが。
Wow, you know quite a bit about her, actually. Accepting her poverty at home, I'd already known those things beforehand. If I'm the prince, that must make her Cinderella. She doesn't seem to have a wicked stepmother and other sisters to bully her, though. And since Michiru didn't mention how she skipped grades, I guess she didn't know about that either. I'd like to know more about her social anxiety myself.
ああ、ええ、確かにミユさんは引っ込み思案というか、人見知りが激しいですね。
Well, I mean, if we think about it, so she skipped 2 grades. She would technically be in like middle school, right? Or junior high. So it makes sense that she would be kind of awkward, kind of shy. It seems like she's moving up faster, so she's probably like really smart, but like I don't know, like maybe emotionally she's not at that level, but intellectually she is, right? So I feel like her character makes sense to me. I mean, when I was in middle school, I had tons of social anxiety. I didn't know who I was or what my identity was going to be. You know, I didn't know what kind of personality I really had. I was just kind of awkward and shy. So I feel like her character makes a lot of sense to me. I'm actually trying to help her overcome that, so I was just wondering if you have any ideas about how to help her open up a little more.
またおかしなことをしていますね。
What do you mean strange? I'm just helping her out, like any normal good person would do. Michiru gave me a gentle laugh.
性格を変えようとするなら、いっそ調教か洗脳でもされたらいかがでしょう。
What? Can we just disregard this? Joining a cult or allowing a mad scientist to brainwash her. So, no, we're not gonna do that. Hey, I'm not even trying to make her into a completely different person. She just wants some help with her social anxiety.
冗談ですよ。あのピュアピュアなところは私も好ましく感じていますし。
Yeah, you're not innocent. Of course, the little sister character is never innocent. Concur.
上がり症の克服につながるような話となると、まるで思いつきませんが。
I think the best way, at least at that age, to overcome social anxiety is... I guess my advice would be to put yourself in situations where you're going to have social anxiety, of course, and try to make good friends that help you feel comfortable. I feel like if you have someone who's comfortable enough and kind of helps show you around and just makes you feel welcomed, like that can do wonders. That will do wonders for you socially. And that's easier said than done, right? Like if you have social anxiety, it's hard to make a friend, especially one that's more outgoing than you. Um, but honestly, like I feel like that's one of the best things to help. Is just having someone who makes you feel wanted and makes you feel comfortable in whatever setting you're in. Because I feel like when you're that age, you overthink things way too much. You're constantly worried about what other people think about you. And I feel like the people that we consider cool are usually the ones that just don't care as much about what other people think. Like, they just live their life for themselves and not others. So, I mean, if you can find a way to do that, like, find a way to just be yourself and not worry so much about what other people are going to think, you know, just be happy and do that. Michiru stopped and thought about something for a moment.
兄様の参考にということでしたら、ミユさんに限らず、周りの子の性格が大きく変わる出来事はあります。
Oh boy. Don't I want to know what she's about to say?
彼氏ができた時です。大体は自分に自信がついて明るくなります。
Yeah, I feel like that would work too. But, you know, I just have a problem with dating at that age, just because I feel like it can be a good and a bad thing. It's like you can get yourself in a lot of trouble because you don't really know what you're doing, and if you decide to do certain things, that can cause a lot of problems. So I would not want to get into that at that age, just because middle schoolers think they know everything, and then as they get older, you're like, wow, don't know anything. I'm in my 20s now, and I'm like, no, don't know anything. Nope. But you just gotta be careful with that. And then I feel like people get too attached when you're young, like just thinking, oh, I'm dating this person, I love them, and they're the best, and you know I'm gonna get married to them and live forever. And it's like, middle school, no, or high school, maybe. High school is a maybe, but most people I don't think get married to their high school sweethearts, so don't get too attached. But I will say relationships can help you grow. If you're able to get over it and use it as a positive thing and not as a scar or a negative thing, like, oh, they were the love of my life, I can never move on, and then you never move on, like, that's a problem. But if you use it like, oh, okay, I learned that, I got more confident, I kind of know what I'm doing now in a relationship, then good for you. I mean, that's what you should do. Dating should be about seeing who you're compatible with, seeing what kind of interests you want, and then what kind of person you are as well in a relationship. Alright, I'll stop talking about it. A guy would go through changes like that when he finds a girlfriend too, but I would imagine the change is more drastic for girls. I wouldn't say that. I would say it's about equal. I mean, it's different but the same, right? I understood what she was trying to tell me, but given Miyu's circumstances, the idea of her getting a boyfriend in order to work up enough courage to confess to Shuji was pretty much a cart before the horse kind of idea. Wait, on second thought, she might be onto something there. Is this going to end up with us dating her? Is that what's going to happen? We're going to date her, and then we're going to somehow try to get her with Shuji, but this is a terrible idea, so it's not going to work? While I was silently collecting my thoughts momentarily, Michiru grinned and cocked her head to one side. Am I onto something, guys? I think I'm onto something. You're always trying to make a move on me, and yet you asked me that. Oh, ye of little faith in your own brother. No? I felt like I painted myself into a corner, given Michiru's maturation over the past year or two, and how often she expresses her affection for me. One could say I felt a sort of ambivalence towards her. Sorry, I'm having a very hard time with that word. Are we getting off topic here? No. Sorry, you are very mistaken. I mean, she's clearly not best girl. I'm not saying she's a bad girl. I'm just saying she's not best girl. Why must you distort my intentions so? I'm just expecting the next scene to just be like, or I'll kill her. Michiru displayed a smile more brilliant than the purest white. It was one that belied how she truly felt. Well, just don't tell Mio I asked you about her.
兄様の望むままに。
Michiru nodded respectfully, and that was the end of the conversation. Good grief. That was one hell of a conversation to have at this hour of the morning. Even so, I felt that there was some value to asking another girl's opinion on the matter. Falling in love spurs on changes for a girl. For Miu, the changes have already started, so I just need to give her a bit of a push on the back one way or another. Yeah, but is asking our sister who's in love with us really the best idea? Is this really the best person we want to get advice from? Not to say that some of her advice wasn't bad, but I'm like, I don't know if dating her is going to solve this problem here. Continue to pass the time making out a conversation with Michiru as per my everyday routine. We got off the monorail near the beach and then walked down the seaside path to our final destination. There's a lot of cool background CGs in this. I mean, I'm assuming some of y'all like it for that reason, and I like it too. I think that tower in the background there, kind of the left, here, 1 second. Just so you guys can see it real quick. I think that's pretty cool. I like this monorail too. Like there's a lot of like really cool stuff in this. So we walk the seaside path. We're gonna get to see the ocean.
着きましたね。
All right. Losing her sight had really sharpened her sense of intuition as she sensed the gate a few steps in front of us and stopped. You can let go of my hand anytime.
どうせですから、下駄箱まで。
Your class isn't the same way as mine, though.
でしたら、いっそ学校などサボって、愛の逃避行というのも悪くありませんね。ちゃ
Yeah.
んとそこに海がありますし。
See, I would do that with Crow, but not with you, okay? We don't have a boat. That was his only excuse for not doing that. He's like, I don't have a boat. I shook off her eager hand and pushed her on the back. Just like, get out of here. Go on, get going. Yeah, go on, get going.
はーい。
Wow, she sounds so sad. Michiru swung her parasol in front of her as she walked away reluctantly. What a handful. At first glance, you would think she's a mature, sensible young lady, but she was still a child at heart, complete with a child's sense of entitlement. I waited behind Michiru a little bit before walking through the gate myself. I didn't want to have to constantly have her sticking to me like glue. Oh, was that Miu? Suddenly ran into Miu. Yo, good morning.
レイ先輩、おはようございます。
What a coincidence running into you here, though maybe we walked by each other without noticing it before.
いえ、今日は私が早く登校したので。
Why are you so nervous, huh? Miu spoke as timidly as ever. Compared to yesterday, it seemed like she reverted to being constantly on guard with others overnight.
今日もいい天気ですね。降水確率 0% なんだそうです。
Ah, yes. Talking about the weather, the most interesting conversation we could possibly be having right now. Yes, the dialogue is so riveting. You don't have to force yourself to talk about something, it's fine.
ごめん。ありがとうございます。
She must have remembered me telling her not to apologize so much. After thanking me, she finally relaxed her shoulders and gave me a bashful smile. I didn't expect to run into you. Maybe we should wait until later to talk about you-know-who, alright?
はい。よろしくお願いします。
Alright, let's go into Hogwarts.
こちらの方が昨日の先輩なの？
Uh-oh. Uh-oh, guys. Is this a love interest? If she is, she's just moved up. She's just moved up. She's not Crow level, but she's just moved up. I have a thing for the Twin Tails. I have a thing for it. It's... I do. Is this upperclassman you were talking about yesterday? Suddenly, another first year of short stature appeared next to me. Why is everyone so young?
そうだよ、美咲ちゃん。この人がさっき話してたレイ先輩。
Misaki. Okay, I'll remember that. Misaki. You told her about yesterday.
美咲ちゃんは親友だから、他の人には本当に内緒ですけど。
She better not be a side character. If she is a side character, I am going to be so disappointed in this game. That's how secrets stop being secret, you know? Miu's face drooped when I pointed that out, but regardless, I just gave her a half-hearted smile to the other girl, Misaki.
はじめまして先輩。安藤美咲です。兄ちゃんがお世話になったみたいでありがとうございます。
That's very polite. I'm not fond of calling people by last name, so would you mind if I just called you Misaki?
構いませんよ。
The girl seemed like the polar opposite of my sister, steadfast, mature, and with a lovable smile. I had a hunch her upbringing had affected that. Are you some kind of rich heiress or something?
分かってしまいますか。
And she's rich. I have a thing for rich girls. They're generally blonde. I feel like all the rich girls are blonde, but I'll take her. I like brunettes anyways. So, all right. You know, this game's getting better and better the more I play. Means like he acknowledged it without hesitation. Now that we got the sister out of the way, and we're like on to the actual real woman.
この町だと圧倒的に沢渡の方が有名ですけど、私の親も建築会社を経営してるんです。
Oh, come to think of it, I've seen trucks around town with Ondo written in them in English letters before. Is that the one?
あれですね。
Alright. A large company, Harris, huh? I guess you must be quite the rich girl.
すごいですよね。そんなことありませんよ。
That reminds me, Ondo the subcontractor that the city tapped for that contract to build the monorail. Oh, crap. I didn't want people to know about my family, but I almost brought it up in a conversation without thinking. I really wish there was a way, like, I could, and I haven't found one. I don't know if there's a log. If there's a log, somebody let me know. I have no idea how to open the log.
ちょっと待ってね。
I would like to be able to just read so I can, like, really absorb it. I have a hard time absorbing things. There's no log.
あのモノ
At least not that I
レー
can
ル
tell.
って沢渡さんが町のためにってお金を出して作られたんですよね。
Yeah, I guess so. Tried to change the subject, but it didn't really work.
もしかしてレイ先輩の妹ってみちるちゃんって言い
Ah,
ま
frick,
せ
she's
んか？
connecting dots. Nope, don't connect dots. Not allowed. Miu may be shy around others, but she didn't mince words when she felt the situation called for it. She is, but I will say she's probably given you a pretty indifferent impression of me.
やっぱりみちるちゃんがいつも言ってる兄様って
She talks about
レイ
us
先
too.
輩のことだったんですね。
Seems like you two get along pretty swimmingly.
沢渡
Hearing Misaki's faint muttering of realization, Miu's eyes widened in amazement.
じゃあレイ先輩って正真正銘の王子様なんだ。
No. Now everyone knows we're rich. Nah, I wouldn't say I'm cool just because I'm from an affluent family. Initially thought it'd be better to let the whole thing slide, but ended up spilling the beans about me being Michiru's relative instead. I'm sure it would have gotten out sooner or later anyways, though. Just please don't think any differently because of that. Ever since I was a kid, it caused me no end of trouble. I sighed dejectedly. People I thought were my friends would push me away, and even the teachers would treat me differently when they found out about my circumstances. Anyone would be better after that. What do you mean? You would have so many friends. Everyone would be like, oh, you're rich? I want to come over to your house and do fun stuff. Because, you know, you would have all the hookups.
ああ、だから名字が苦手だって。
Yeah. As if she'd figured out one of my weaknesses, Mia gave a slightly suspect-looking smile. Yeah, I may be a Sawatari, but I'm still my own person, okay?
はい、わかりました。レイ先輩。
I was truly grateful for Mia's understanding, but Misaki hadn't said anything yet. Her reaction was something I was more accustomed to. Was eating her anyways. If she had a sense of pride in her own family name, maybe she saw me as a rival or something. Perfect. It's gonna be this love that's not meant to be, but we're gonna make it a thing. I like it. If the Sawatari family didn't have the stature they did, Misaki would probably be a thoroughbred princess. Well, I'm out. See ya. Oh, I just love the idea of him to say, alright, that's all I need to say, I'm out, and then just leaving. He just leaves. Probably wise to get the hell out of Dodge. Good grief. Even if I'm used to it by now, it's still ungodly awkward when my family comes up in conversation. That was great. I love that he's just willing to say, alright, I'm done. Goodbye. Just dips. Well, I'm sure getting an earful of Shuji's acid tongue will set me at ease. I come into the classroom, put down my bag, and went over to talk to Shuji.
朝っぱらからなんだお前は。男の癒しになるとか気持ち悪いにも程があるぞ。
No, I was just hoping to hear a bit of your F you, I do what I want
も
attitude.
っとけなしてやろうか。
Sure. Like hell, you'd only get 15 seconds into it before I'd have to slug you.
朝から変なものでも食べたんじゃねえのか。
No. Not that I am aware of. You know, was that what that stuff was? Putting that aside, I heard you lent an umbrella to that girl you were talking to yesterday.
Huh?
For some reason, he looked puzzled. There still weren't very many people in the classroom, but I lowered my voice anyways to be safe. Well, her name's Mio Suzuki, and she told me she fell for you when you let her borrow an umbrella one day.
ああ、傘ってあの子だったか。
I like how he just casually mentions, oh yeah, she's been into you since this moment. Like, what? I feel there's something you're not telling
女
me.
子に傘を貸したのは覚えてるけど、その後何もなかったから顔を忘れてた。
So he's just like, I don't care about her. So you were trying to be a show-off helping out a cute girl caught in the rain.
当たり前だ。ブースに傘なんか貸すか。
Bruh. Okay. Seriously though, one of those days, that big mouth of yours is gonna get you knifed in the back. And I'll be here to watch. To be honest, I had mentally conceded that he had a point, but I would never dare say that to his
とい
face.
うことは、やっぱり昨日のあれはマジで告白だったのか。
I mean, yeah, why else would she call you to the roof? Even if she was just lending an umbrella, I guess that's love at first sight for you.
驚いた。
She's just like, oh gosh, a woman would like me? And alright. Nonetheless, I couldn't help but grin. Must be nice, you're gonna have a girlfriend before me.
ああ、それは。
Shuji hesitated as if he wasn't sure what to say next. It was surprising to see Suji, of all people, act like that. What's eating you?
困ったな。
Is he about to come out? Is that what's gonna happen? I mean, that's fine if he does. What, are you gonna turn down a cute girl's confession, or do you actually have a girlfriend I don't know about?
うるさい。ちょっと考えさせろ。
He's deciding right here and now what he is. He doesn't know. Shuji furrowed his brow in thought, though I thought this wasn't anything to worry about. Then he spoke again.
ここからは俺とあの子の問題だし、さんずいは気にするな。昨日のことと今の話はありがとな。
He's so gay. He is so gay. Totally. Although he thanked me for helping, Shuji immediately left the classroom after that. He seemed to be giving me the cold shoulder. I was left dumbfounded in the classroom. Wait, I hadn't been prepared for this. Shuji would react positively. I'd tell Mio the news at lunch break, and then, bada bing, they live happily together. That was how things would go, or so I thought. Did I now have to declare Mia's crush as just an idea that wouldn't get on the runway? It was more like an idea that blew up in the hangar. What the hell do I do now? I buried my face in my hands. It would be different if Shuji had a girlfriend, but it doesn't seem to be the case. He didn't even explain why he's not interested in her. I decided to go up and follow Shuji to see if I could coax any more info out of him, but...
レイ君、おはよう。
Ooh, Ohio. How are you? O genki desu ka? In spite of my haste, as soon as a cute girl said hello to me, I had to stop and return the greeting. I just love the idea of any cute girl says something to him, he has to respond. Like, it is absolutely, like, built in. Makoto, I can remember that.
おはよう、おはよう。
Yeah, morning. Makoto had a casual smirk on her face, like she was in a good mood. That's good. I thought she would just say hello and go about her business, but she's still standing in front of me. Well, we did have that thing yesterday where we kind of saved her from an embarrassment.
あのね、大したものじゃないんだけど、これを渡そうと思って。
Gosh, we're getting with so many girls right now. She handed me a small wrapped box. Opening, I found it contained a large eraser along with some cutesy post-it notes whose designs were unabashedly girly in
昨日
appearance.
お弁当を助けてくれたお礼。ありがとね。
Okay. Really wasn't a big deal though. This is awfully diligent of you.
そうなんだけど、義理人情は大事なことだし、受けた恩には報いないと。
Makoto never stood out to me before, but in a real conversation with her, I couldn't help but notice she was a bit more old-fashioned than most girls. Is it her manner of speaking? Huh?
どうしたの？
I don't know, I just have a feeling, haven't I met you somewhere before?
口説き文句？
We just start going into a pickup line here. Who even says that as a pickup line anymore? I'm asking a serious question
同
here.
じクラスだったことあったっけ？
I don't think so. We probably don't even go to the same school before coming here.
前世からの因縁のある仇かな。
That sounds likely. Alright, we must fight to the death. Why does it have to be a mortal enemy? Maybe you could just call it fate. She reminds me of, Chino no Hoki from, Infinite Shadows. That's what she reminds me of. Just a little bit. She like, kind of looks why she reminds me of her, but she reminds me of the other girl in that show. The one that had, I think, twin tails and was kind of annoying. Even though I liked her, she was funny. Well, anyways, thanks a lot for the gift.
どういたしまして。
Makoto gave me a dazzling smile as she turned to go back to her seat. Now, what was I doing again? Right, I was trying to go after Shuji. I mean, I feel like that's kind of past and gone here. The hallway is packed with people, all of them hanging around and chatting. Wouldn't want anyone to overhear something like this, so it might be hard to grill Shuji anymore until after school. Scratched my cheek. For a guy with such a big mouth, he sure can be a mule sometimes. Shuji says whatever he feels like most of the time, but if he decides he doesn't want to talk about something, he really buttons his lips. Man, Shuji really is a good chap. Good chap. This is such an interesting translation for this. I mean, I don't know how the original is. I mean, obviously, I clearly don't know Japanese, but very interesting choice of words. I don't usually hear some of this kind of language. Then it was time for lunch. Took my lunchbox up to the rooftop. Although I was excited to have lunch with a cute girl, I was nervous to tell her about Shuji. So on the whole, I suppose that balanced out my mood. Maybe I don't need to tell her today. I could just keep my mouth shut until I get a real answer out of Shuji. Oh yeah, she's gonna ask. Went up the stairs and opened the door to the rooftop. Still looks like a pool, by the way. Like, this literally looks like it's just water. She's not here yet. Rooftop was hot and humid as usual, but Mia wasn't around. She seemed like the very conscientious sort of girl, so I thought maybe she'd be here before me, but maybe she's going to come up after she eats lunch. Might as well just wait it out. While loitering on the rooftop with nothing else to do, I became aware of some kind of commotion down below. What's this? I peered off the roof and saw a circle of people crowded around something. In the middle of that circle lay the body of a person. Without a word, I heard my pocket watch on the ground. Oh gosh, did she fall off again? You're kidding me. Did she really fall off again? My son shot after turning back time once again, greatly surprised Makoto and the other students around me. I ignored them and ran out of the room. Miyu and I must have missed each other somehow, so maybe she's over here. Bruh. Okay, never mind. You are never allowed on the roof again. There's literally guardrails. How are you falling off? How are you falling off? I swear, she is trying to fall off this roof right now. Uh-oh. Do I have auto mode on? Please, just get away from the edge. We need to save this girl from herself, okay? You didn't seem like she was going to fall. Just to be safe, I grabbed her hand and pulled her away. Then from the other direction, I heard a small thunk. Wondering what the noise was, I looked around and saw there was a strangely colored rock lying on the ground. Rock, how did that get here? This fall from somewhere. It's not like it could have carried the stone up here, and there isn't anything around here that's taller than this building. Yes, there's totally just a meteorite hanging out on this roof. So she went down to grab it, and then accidentally, like, somehow tripped on it, and just went flying off the roof. Crazy. It was a very big meteorite, but the odds of one falling in this exact spot right in front of us are astronomical. That would be pretty crazy. Wait a minute, if I hadn't pulled Mia away from the edge, it would have hit her. Really, that's what happened. A meteorite came down and hit her, causing her to fall through. What? Can we talk about that? What even is this game? She has literal meteorites pushing off the roof. Like, she is destined to die. Like, I'm wondering if this is a situation where she's, like, the flow of time, like, she has to die, and reality is just gonna keep trying to kill her, fate, or whatever have you. A meteorite, guys. Come on. Are you genetically inclined to constantly get mixed up in unlucky situations? Yeah, she's just gonna be walking, and all of a sudden a sinkhole appears, and she falls to her death. Mio's voice caught in her throat as if she was well aware of it herself. Girl, you are cursed, okay? Nobody just has a meteorite fall on their head while they're on a rooftop. Like, what? So I see. For the record, I have really good luck. I like how he asked her, like, oh, you must have really bad luck. She's like, yeah, I'm pretty unlucky. It's like, oh, for the record, I have really good luck. Just totally dismisses her. They say that good fortune brings good virtue with it, too. Well, I'd say people who run into trouble all the time are most likely just to end up being saved by people like that. Clearly not. I had to come back and save you.
回の炊飯器のタイマーは切れてなかったし、つまずいて転んだりしなかったし、隕石なんて珍しいものを見れましたから。
Yeah, I hate to break it to you. You were about to freaking die. So what you normally do is the opposite of that. Couldn't help but sigh. Is it that rare? Then I'll give it to you. I handed the meteorite to Miu. This is gonna be like some rare space rock that we have to get back. It's like the key to unwinding everything wrong that's happening in our life. It's gonna be some crazy story like that, huh? Not really worth anything to me. If it's a treasure to you, then you're the one who should have it. She wrapped the tiny rock in a handkerchief as if it were a priceless jewel before putting it in her pocket. Yeah, what if some guy just, like, brought it up? It was just some regular rock, and he's like, yeah, I was gonna throw this at somebody, but, you know, I'll just leave it here. Well, I used to think smooth, shiny stones were really cool when I was a kid, too. No. We just have a little bit of a cheat to save you, which you better not make this a normal everyday occurrence, okay? We're not gonna always be around to save you. It's a wonder how she's lived this long without us. Ever since the day of that botched confession when I first met her, I couldn't tell if my luck had become really good or really bad. Can we just please tell her never to step foot on a roof again? Like, she clearly cannot handle roofs. If I hadn't met her, she would have died twice over, but on the other hand, you could also say that since she met me, she had now ended up in 2 situations where she barely avoided death. In any case, you might be talking more naturally than you were this morning. Why is that? Does Michiru talk about me all the time at school, too? Wow. Oh, okay. That's... we need to get her some hobbies. Who the hell is this brother of hers? Yeah, but what about the other chick, huh? Like, she was running away. Like, she was like stonewalling me. She was just like so shocked. Guess you could say it's a blessing in disguise that your expectations were shattered like that. Since I was getting tired of standing around, I decided to sit down. Miu did the same as well. And we're back to this. Nice views as always, I see. She doesn't know. She doesn't know. Miu glanced around which way, but my eyes were naturally drawn towards one specific spot. But never mind that. Have you come up with any ideas to overcome your social anxiety? I don't know, guys. Maybe she has a reason to have social anxiety. She's constantly exposing herself without even realizing it. I guess Miu, in her recklessness, would have thought of things to try to spur the moment beforehand herself. I haven't got the chance to yet. I need a little more time. I gave her a completely canned answer. But more importantly, I was thinking about something myself. It has to do with setting rules. Oh, that's her line. You took the words right out of my mouth, man. You really are a genius. I have a hard time believing that. No, not happening. Please do not do that. Just hearing that made me cringe. Anyways, Miu. Oh, thank goodness we got out of that CG. Miu jumped up in shock and let out a loud gasp. Wow, am I that undesirable that you wouldn't date me? I haven't finished explaining, so calm down. I don't know, just calm down. Just listen to what we have to say. It would be a lot easier telling someone to calm down. I actually did calm them down. Yeah, I feel like telling someone to calm down never works, ever. Maybe I went a little too far there. Mia was completely freaking out. Gosh dang, if you would listen to what we have to say, we're trying to help you. I mean, we're totally gonna steal her, but anyways. Oh, she likes us. Okay. Oh. Sorry, I meant we should set a rule to act like we're actually going out when we talk. Freeze frame. Sit down. Gosh, we're back to this again. At my beckoning, Mio immediately flopped on her butt down on the concrete. Wow, you are very obedient. Are you mad at me? You want to overcome your social anxiety in order to ask Shuji out, right? So you need to get used to talking to boys about love and romance. Smart guy. He's using this to date her. He's like, yeah. Except we have to keep it hidden, okay? We have to keep this relationship hidden. And then he's gonna go out with another girl. He's gonna go out with Makoto. He's just playing the field. Look at this guy. Miu carefully pondered over what I said, making every effort not to misunderstand. I wish most people would do that. Everyone just looks to misunderstand things. Here be a jump scare. Okay, sorry, I had a knock on the door, and this is not a game I want to have a knock on the door playing. Ab initio. Practicing and studying something thoroughly allows me to get more used to it and be more prepared for the possibility of something going wrong. Sure. Oh, so she's into the idea. Okay. Not only was this girl a genius, she was well spoken too. You don't have to overanalyze it like that. They say talking to yourself is a sign of intelligence. I mean, I've done that before too. I'm not saying I'm smart though. Sorry. Even while she responded, I could tell that she was still a little bit miffed about what I'd said earlier, even though that was only natural. Kind of think about it, it's a bit too much to ask of you myself, and besides, I wouldn't want you to force. Interesting. You're agreeing that quickly. I expected she would have asked to sleep on it or something and have some time to think, but now it's my turn to be surprised. It's okay if you want to sleep on it, you know. I don't know. Sometimes it's good to think about things, okay? That's the kind of thinking that made you screw up the first time. Are you gonna blow your second chance too? My head was spinning. Who was this girl so I know how to pronounce that word. Never mind. I'm not even gonna try. I don't want to embarrass myself. I mean, that's fair line of thinking. It's good not to live with regrets. So basically, you're damned if you do and damned if you don't. I was on the verge of burying my head in my hands again, but Mio was still staring quizzically at me. Well, duh, the last thing I want to do is have regrets. That was, after all, why I so frequently made use of this palette in my pocket watch. But what? Huh, okay. Yeah, I could see it that way. So you're saying, like, if you always jump on every opportunity without thinking about it, you're not really making a decision for yourself. You're just going along with anything that comes up, instead of deciding whether you actually want to do that thing or not. Okay. I agree with that line of thinking. Fair enough. Just like the day we first met, her straightforward resolve left me astonished. Mia really is the exact opposite of me. If it were asked which of us would have it easier living in the world as it is today, the answer would surely be me. Yet somehow people like me are inevitably attracted to a person like Miu. Just as a sunflower cranes its neck towards the sun. Besides, sunflower seeds are really tasty too. Getting a little distracted here, my guy.
じゃあ恋人っぽくっていうのは明日から。
Oh, sure, that works. Yeah, let's just do it right away. I mean, I thought this was going to be a secret thing so you could have it, you know, you could be with two girls at the same time, but apparently not. At that moment, my stomach let out a low, dull noise. Mulling over complicated things like this really works up an appetite. I looked at my bag for my lunchbox, but it wasn't there. Oh, I forgot my lunchbox.
家に置いてきちゃったんですか？
Oh, they're going to share food, aren't they? She's going to be like, ah, open your mouth. No, it's in the classroom. I forgot to bring it up with me this time.
今回は
It's nothing, don't worry about it.
そうだ、もしよかったら明日からレイ先輩のお弁当も作ってきましょうか？
Yes. This is the real reason to have a girlfriend. Someone to make you lunch. Because who doesn't want to say yes to free lunch?
協力してもらうお礼に、自分とお父さんの分と一緒なので、お金持ちの人の下には合わないかもしれないですけど。
Oh my gosh, he doesn't act like a rich boy, which is what I like about him. He doesn't seem like he acts like this kind of, I don't know, know-it-all type guy. He looked up at me timidly, waiting for my response. You know, wealth doesn't affect a person's taste. My family's maid usually makes me lunch.
まずお家にメイドさんがいるのが普通じゃないです。
I know, right? Can you imagine just having a cute maid? Just cleaning, cooking? That'd be the life. Touche. But in any case, a handmade lunchbox from a girl, huh? It felt like a dream come true. By thinking about it more closely, I shook my head. No, I don't think you have to.
でも恋人っぽいかなって。
It's probably going a little too far, though. I wouldn't want to ruin a good memory like that for yourself.
Oh.
Mia's eyes widened, and then she smiled.
ありがとうございます。
Oh, okay, so he's being considerate of, like, her first time doing something like that. Because it's like, the end goal is not to be dating me, it's to be dating this guy. And you want to have all your first experiences like that with them. We're just kind of pretending, you know?
クッキーか何か焼いてきます。お菓子を作るのが好きなんです。
I'd love that.
はい、楽しみにしていてください。
Gosh, he's, like, surprisingly aware of, like, little details like that. Like, I'm actually really impressed with that whole conversation right there. Like, he realizes, hey, like, this is going to be her first time making lunch for a boy, and I don't want to take that because I'm not the one she's trying to be with, right? Like, that was, like, surprisingly considerate of him. And I'm like, I'm not used to that from protagonists. Like, is he a little perverted? Sure. Yeah, of course. But he's very considerate of her feelings, like, more so than I see from most guys that are the protagonist here. So, I'm impressed. Flashed a smile that sparkled as brilliantly as the sun on a summer's day, and I couldn't help but smile back. That said, while I didn't pay much mind to it during our conversation, I wondered, does Mia like me the same way she does Shuji? I knew it wouldn't be wise to get ahead of myself with wishful thinking, but things were shaping up to be quite interesting. Yeah, I feel like these two are getting set up to have a relationship. I mean, I'm sure she's one of the girls that we can go after, of course. School came to an end. I thought about talking to Shuji again, but he dashed out of homeroom immediately after school as if he knew that I wanted to talk to him. He's not answering my text either. Where did he go? Put my phone away and looked around. While I was hanging around homeroom waiting for Shuji to answer me, I realized I had already missed my opportunity to turn back time by 5 minutes and find him before he left school. If he was going to go straight home, he'd take the monorail, but he might have decided to walk through town instead to avoid me. Made up my mind and set out looking for him on a different road home than I usually take. Let's see where this guy's at. Gosh, look at this. Another nice view. This must be that tower we keep seeing. It is freaking ginormous, and it's got things sticking out of it. I ran into someone while I was looking for him in Central Park, located directly in the center of downtown, true to its name. Contrary to expectations, the person I encountered was actually Makoto, not Shuji. Ooh, we're getting a little Makoto time.
あれ、レイ君？
I feel like the pacing in this has been pretty fast. I wonder how long this game is. I have no idea. Calling out to the girl on the streets was not something I'd ever normally do, but I was looking for someone else after all. Have you seen Shuji around here?
石田君？見てないよ。
No show, eh? Guess I'll have to get back at him in class tomorrow.
鬼ごっこでもしてるの？
Something like that.
男子は楽しそうだな。
Makoto's speech was casual and laid back. Is your house over this way?
違うよ。ちょっと散歩してるだけ。 私の家は
Oh.
レイ君と同じ方向。
Should come over sometime. Wonder why she knew where my house was, but I guess that was the Sawatari estate would stand out. Yeah, I feel like that's... It makes sense that somebody would know where his house is. It's not too strange. Can't conceal my last sight from anyone, especially my classmates. Man, going for walks sounds like a pretty modest hobby.
渋いっていうか、天気がいい日はあれを見るのが好きなんだよね。
I mean, it does look like a very nice day out, and that's an incredible view, guys. That is incredible for being so close to your house. Kodo looked up at the sky. In that direction was the other major symbol of our town, aside from the monorail, the town monument. Both the monorail and the monument were designed with the motif that their shapes together would resemble a giant sundial from an aerial view of the town. Oh, is that the monorail in the back? No, it can't be. I don't know. There's like nothing holding it up, really. Their shapes together would resemble a giant sundial from an aerial view of the town. Interesting. A lot of clocks in this game.
あの
It's
柱
kind of
も
called
この公園
ChronoClock,
も
so
沢渡君の家がモノレールと一緒に作ったんだよね。
it's not like I broke the ground on them or anything though. My family being brought up in conversation was a surefire way to get me annoyed. Kodo was still
い
smiling
いこ
though.
とじゃん。モノレールはみんなが便利に使ってるし、この公園は私好きだし。レイ君と話すことがあったら、それは言っておこうと思ったんだよね。ありがとうって。
Gosh, like all the girls are like trying to get with him at once. I have no idea how this is gonna go. Wasn't a big deal. Makoto was more outgoing than I had thought. I wished Miyu could be as half as good at making conversations as Makoto was.
あのモニュメントを作るときに、そばの家とはちょっと揉めたよね。
Oh right, I remember there were concerns that such a big structure would block out the sun at certain times of the day for certain buildings in the area. They expect you to know about that.
ああ、うん。ちょっとね。
Well, that structure is absolutely ginormous. That's got to be like one of the biggest things in history. Like his family must be absurdly rich. I feel like that's probably the size of like the Eiffel Tower or something crazy like that. For some reason, Makoto was suddenly a bit flustered. But why? Wait, that's it. I still have some vivid memories of a disagreement over this monument. When I was a kid, the park and the monorail were still under construction. One day, my late grandfather told me about the word fixer. I asked my grandfather what that unfamiliar word meant, and he told me to remember it well because it might prove useful in the future. A fixer is a person with influence and connections who is able to grease the wheels of society by negotiating and resolving disputes. A fixer doesn't necessarily break the law himself, but there's a good chance he has a free pass to some of the more undesirable elements of society. There aren't many people like that in this city, aside from one particular family rumored to have connections to the Yakuza. Oh boy, is she related to the Yakuza? Jonochi. Now I remember, I really have met you somewhere before. I'd completely forgotten, given how hard I try not to think about my family. The Sawatari family is the public face of this town, and the Jonochi family is the hidden face. Soon after the park and the monorail construction projects were completed, members of both families were invited to a party to memorialize the occasion. That's where I met the Jonochi family patriarch. He appeared to be a quiet man in a suit, but when I heard the weight of his voice, his voice carried as he ordered his butler to take his coat, I could sense that this was not a normal man. And that young girl I saw at the party, who was clearly a family member of his, don't tell me that was actually Makoto. Suddenly, my vision went hazy.
余計なことを思い出したか。
Oh gosh. Oh gosh. What? Oh, we actually get to see what he looks like a little bit. I don't know. Have we seen him before? I don't think so. Regaining my senses, I realized Makoto had pulled me directly in front of her face and was staring daggers at me. Makoto?
黙れ。
Okay. Oh, yes, mommy. I mean, yes, Makoto. Yes, ma'am. I'll put a lock and key over my mouth so you won't hear a peep out of me until you give me permission to speak again.
本当に無駄によく回る舌だね。私がエンマ様の代わりに抜いてあげようか。
Holy frick, she is scary. She reminds me of Mimi from World End Syndrome. Kind of a scary woman.
無駄によく回る舌だね。私がエンマ様。
Of course, I couldn't respond to that. The always easygoing Makoto had seemingly transformed into another person entirely, and she had me right by the necktie.
まったく。せっかく1年以上誰にも知られずに生活できてたのに。
Well, to be fair, you found out about my secret, so I can find about yours. Guess we all have stuff to hide.
黙るんじゃなかったの。
At least let me make my excuses first.
男なら言い訳なんかせず、背筋を伸ばしてなさい。
Yes, mommy. Gosh, dang, that was a scary woman. Wondered in the back of my head if that was seriously her most important criterion. Being a man. This is not the ideal time to point this out, but she smelled nice. What is up with every character smelling people? Why? Every visual novel I play, the main character smells somebody. Why? Why do you need to do this? Other situations that set alone would make my heart racing. Though my heart was already racing, but for the wrong reason. Would it be a problem if everyone knew the truth about you?
沢渡りのお坊ちゃんなら思い当たる節はあるんじゃない？
My lips are sealed then.
私は静かに暮らしたかっただけなのにな。
Hey, you can't go from scary looking to cute. Like, no, it's not allowed. Makoto looked like she was back to normal for a second, giving a dejected sigh at her situation. Usually it's always the crazy ones who say that, though.
私は堅気として生きていけって言われてるの。
I don't think threatening me in the park that I built is living an upstanding life, okay? Makoto pulled tighter on my necktie, continuing to stare me down. So basically you're threatening me not to tell anyone else about your family.
お願いだよ。
Can we break our pocket watch real quick and not have this conversation? That's not what it sounded like a minute ago. Can I just say one more thing?
さっきから喋りっぱなしじゃない。
I don't know if that's the thing you wanted to say, my guy. I don't know how well that's gonna go. I'm a little worried. Or we dismount her, we catch her off guard. Okay, we're actually 200 IQ. Makoto's face was still uncomfortably close to mine, so I could instantly see the blood rushing to her cheeks. Yes, assert dominance. Kiss her right now. Just do it. It's just you seem so ordinary most of the time. And seeing you drop that and go medieval on my butt like this isn't bad either, you know? He's enjoying it.
今はそういう話をしてるんじゃないでしょ。
My guy is enjoying this right now. He is enjoying this. This is truly a man to be reckoned with. You're so close to me right now, I can feel your breath. Makoto's voice caught in her throat and she started panicking. This is one of my new favorite MCs right now. Like, he's so good. He's just like, this is a threatening situation. What should I say? I'm gonna say that she's cute. I'm gonna catch her off guard. She wanted to retreat, but since she was the one who grabbed me first, she was seemingly confused about what to do. He seems like a little bit of a, gosh. I'm gonna have to come back to that. Evidently, the clumsy, carefree side of Makoto I normally saw was anything but an act. She's cute, funny, and really easygoing. I felt like I should move her up a few places on my list of cute girls.
とにかく私のことは黙っているのよ。
I like how she's totally just docile now. She's just like, okay, please don't tell anybody. Of course, I'm known for being a taciturn kind of guy.
どう考えてもその逆の評価しか受けてないと思うんだけど。
Why? Why would you ever think differently? Well, in any case, if you hadn't threatened me, it's not like I had any motives to.
そこまでよ。困っている女の子に言い寄るなんて正
What?
体を表したわね。沢渡りの御曹司。
Oh my gosh, why is everyone doing this conversation? You son of a Sawatari. Who the hell? Is that our sister? I had snapped towards the direction of the voice shouting a dialogue that wouldn't have been out of place in some cheesy B movie. Oh no, it's the other girl! Yes, let's go! The voice from the higher ground, from the top of the set of stairs leading up the hill. Oh, there's so many good CGs. I love this. I love that they're just throwing CGs out there. Like, CGs are like my favorite. I love the moment. There on the hill stood one young woman pointing directly at me with a pose of unflappable confidence. God, she has moved up my list. Okay, so far, guys, it's Crow. Okay. This girl. Okay, yeah. And then Makoto. And then Miyu's at the bottom for me, okay? I like Miyu in the sense that we can have, like, these really kind of almost intellectual conversations sometimes. But, yeah, I need a more mature woman. Look at this girl.
正義の味方、安藤美咲よ。
Misaki. We got Misaki, Michiru, Miyu. What's up with all the M names? Makoto. Are they all M's? Misaki declared her name aloud with no room for doubt. No room for doubt that she was out of her darn mind. Does it seriously look like I'm macking on her right now? Looks like she's macking on us.
誰？
She appeared with no warning whatsoever, so Makoto was every bit as dumbfounded as I was. Misaki had evidently misinterpreted my reaction as her face curled into a triumphant smile.
悔しそうね。まあ、あんたがみーちゃんのそばにいてもいい男かどうか確かめるために私が後をつけていたことに気づかない。
Oh my gosh.
当然ね。
You totally misinterpret everything.
悔しそうね。
For an ally of justice, you sure seem to do a lot of prying.
うるさい。
Misaki stamped her foot and yelled again.
とにかくビシリ。そのお嬢さんから手を離しなさい。
Accuse? Are you speaking French right now? I mean, I don't even know what that says. Someone handed that girl at once. Buster. Can you... Who says Buster? I haven't heard that word since, like, Arthur. You know Arthur's friend, Buster? Can you even see who has a hold on who right now? I shot a side glance at Makoto, who still had me by the necktie.
はい。
Makoto snapped out of it. She finally released me and stepped away.
人質は解放したようね。さあ、そこでおとなしく待っていなさい。
After her melodramatic declaration, Misaki gleefully began running down the stairs. What have I done to deserve this?
誰なの？
I don't know her that well. I'd like to know her, but I don't. I gotta say though, the girls in this are pretty A tier. They're all pretty good in their own way. Even Miyu has you know, a nice side of her, right? I haven't met any girls so far that I don't like, but you know that could change. We'll see. I really like Makoto's different personality there. That was great to see. Amidst all the idiocy, Makoto asked a perfectly reasonable question. A friend of my sister, though I have a feeling she might know my sister firsthand as well.
よくわからない。
It's a friend of a friend of a friend. Of a friend. Of my sister. Of a friend. Don't worry, neither do I.
着地。
The eagle has landed. What? It didn't take long for Misaki to reach the bottom of the stairs. She was playing the heroine in a situation she totally misunderstood, complete with corny exploratory dialogue.
さあ、沢渡。言いたいことがあるなら最後に言い残しなさい。
Is she the chuny of the group? Is she the chuny? She's this rich chuny girl. I've never seen that combination, but I'm actually really enjoying it. Chuck up one more person I met who acts like nothing like my first impression of them, I guess. Yeah, none of these girls are what they first appear.
演技してたわけじゃなくて、お嬢様らしくしてたの。でも、まんまと騙されたわね。
Looks like I really fooled you, huh? Do all girls wither away and die if they don't have some sort of secret to hide?
これと一緒にされても。
You're lumping me into the space case. Koto shot back with an acrimonious retort. So let me be clear about one thing. I wasn't hitting on Makoto here, okay? She was the one who started it.
そうなの？まさか恋人？
Misaki, who naturally had no reason to trust my word, turned to Makoto
い
instead.
や、そんなことあるわけないよ。違うじゃない。
What? What do you mean? No. Makoto wouldn't help me clear this up. Makoto wouldn't help me clear up this misunderstanding, so I gotta take the fall for it. She evidently understood that herself as she glanced at me apologetically. She's just leaving me out to die. She's cute, so I suppose I can forgive her. A real man right here. Anyways, I'd really appreciate it if you could stop yelling my family name over and over.
何よ、あなた沢渡の御曹司でしょ。それならそれらしくシャキッとしなさいよ。
And she calls us Buster again. The way she said it made it hard to tell whether she was chastising me or trying to spur me on. I guess she had a lot of pride in being an Andao.
私帰っていい？
I was just about to ask the same thing. Can I go home too? Hey, you've sold me out enough already
それな
here.
らレイ君も一緒に帰ろうか。
You just said we weren't dating. Why do you want to walk home with me? Okay, see you, Misaki. Don't go trying to apprehend any strangers now.
また明日。
What is going on?
そんなことでごまかされるわけないでしょ。
You think I'll let you walk away that easily? Misaki stamped her feet against the ground again.
恋のりツッコミ。
Gosh, this is great. I already love her character. I know a lot of first years like
今日は
that.
誤解だったみたいだけど、
Stop saying Buster. I'm not your Buster. Sounds like it sucks to be you. Yeah, it does. Even though I'm getting with a bunch of girls, I mean, I can't complain, but it does suck for me. Makoto, evidently wanting to change the subject, told me the abridged story of my life these past few days. Man, I'm not getting much sympathy from you. If you say so. Over the past 2 days, I made an effort to befriend more girls, and as a result, I've met a genius girl with social anxiety, a gangster's daughter, and a rich girl who doesn't seem to be playing with a full deck. Wow, he just straight up called her stupid. I wondered if Miu's bad luck was contagious since all these weird things happening seem to be piling up before me. That too made for a good abridged story of my life. That was absolutely wonderful. Everything about this conversation was great. Top tier. Guess we're on the way home now. Wow. Even she calls her dumb. How rude. I didn't think she's that dumb. She's just funny. She's entertaining. Anyways, guys, I think I'll end it here. I think this is a good spot. We played for quite a bit. I had some good laughs, that's for sure. Got to know a little bit more about all the girls. I'm wondering, is this gonna be the main 4 girls? Is there gonna be another one? Is Crow considered one? If Crow's considered one, this game is already made the top of my list. If there's a Crow route, I will love this game forever. But I'm really guessing there's not. We'll see. I'm not sure. Anyways, guys, gonna end it here. That was a good episode. Lots of great CGs, I'll say that. Lots of great CGs. Lots of great backgrounds, too. Really enjoying that. Yeah. So, anyways, guys, I'll be playing some more soon. My schedule's kind of whack, so it just depends when I have time to record these, but I really do enjoy playing it. And, yeah. Anyways, guys, I will be seeing you in the next episode. Have a good one.